You know, we're talking about money, and so let's talk about it. In Waterbury the other day, they had a very boisterous town hall meeting. And tell me what your opinion is of how those town hall meetings are going. You think the governor's doing a good job getting his point across? And I know you'll probably have some disagreements there.
Well, I got to tell you, first of all, I give the governor all the credit in the world. He's going out there, he's talking to voters and taxpayers. He's inviting a lot of debate and a lot of yelling and screaming, and he's taking it, and I give him a lot of credit for that. I give him credit for proposing a budget that's balanced. I mean, he's actually a leader. He's doing a good job in terms of being a leader. Having said that, I do not agree with the tax policies that he's put forward. He said during the campaign that raising taxes would be an absolute last resort. The first thing that he released prior to his budget speech in terms of a new budget was what tax increases he would have. So, I give him credit for making tough decisions and being willing to actually present a balanced budget, but it's something that is going to be devastating to the Connecticut economy if it's put into place.
So where do you see areas that he should be addressing before taxes?
Well, there's not one single privatization mechanism in this budget, for example. That's something we should be looking at. Whether or not every single state service should be privatized, I think most people would say no, it shouldn't be. And there's some examples of privatization that we shouldn't do. But, to say we're not going to even look at any privatization, that's a problem. We're not selling any state assets. We're not reducing any mandates on cities and towns, specifically some of the very tedious labor mandates that we have. The way that we come to contracts on binding arbitration with teachers and other public employees should be reformed. Not eliminated, but reformed. So we need to do a bunch of things to give cities and towns the ability to reduce spending, and we should be looking at reducing spending at the state level as well.
Well, to be fair to the governor, I mean, he first announced agency consolidations. It's unclear how much, if any, money that would save. And he also said that he wouldn't increase spending overall, which ends up it's going to be 2.4% more. But that is, in essence, a $1.88 billion cut. So I guess the question would be, are the Republicans going to put forward an alternative budget that has cuts in it?
Yeah, first of all, Pat, that's capital speak. You and I have spent a lot of time at the Capitol. That's capital speak. It's a cut. It's a cut from what we would have spent, but it's It's still an increase over last year's budget. So the people that are at home watching the show are saying, well, my budget didn't increase this year. This is the worst economy that many of us can remember. We are looking very seriously at presenting an alternative budget. In the last several years, we have really made our bones at the Capitol by presenting an alternative budget, by no longer being the party of no. People don't like it when politicians, lawmakers stand up and say no to somebody but don't have an alternative. We have done that every step of the way in the last 4 years, and we're certainly proposing spending cuts and offering our alternatives. By the way, the governor's been very gracious in meeting with us and accepting ideas, and obviously we're not all going to agree on everything, but we will be offering alternative budget cuts, and we've been doing that for the last 4 years. While the legislature kicked the can down the road and didn't do anything to resolve this budget deficit, when we had the opportunity, we were proposing alternatives like the privatization we just talked about, and a variety of other things. So yeah, we will be.
And will we see cuts that add up to the objections to the tax increases? In other words, Senator McKinney, who I have great respect for, had a lot of critical things to say about the governor following his meeting this past week before business leaders, but didn't say where he would cut. I mean, are you going to cut education money? Are you going to cut aid to cities and towns?
Let's make it quick because we're running out.
No, there's a whole bunch of things that we can't cut. I mean, there's, and we will be putting a document together that actually has real cuts, not just saying, no, we should cut $3 billion. We're going to put something forward that actually, does cut spending without raising taxes and balancing this on the backs of the private sector.
All right. Representative Sean Williams, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very much, both of you.
We appreciate your time.